Ahoy, I'm TinyPirate, welcome back to Planetbase. This is our last episode. I thought I would finish off this season by getting up to one... Oh dear, did you just see that? I just saw that. Our colonists got smashed by a meteor right on connection, 2 of them died. So yeah, this episode is summary of the gameplay where I managed to get the colony up to 100 colonists. Took me a couple of hours to do that, but I thought I'd do that all in a single episode, show you the highlights so that we could move on to the ice planet. Because gameplay over the period of a couple of hours has been fairly slow and steady. Nothing too earth-shattering going on, but still worth a look in this highlight sort of fashion. So I did correct the manufacturing limits that quite a few people had spotted. Tweaked that a few times through the game, just to make sure I wasn't overwhelmingly building stuff I didn't really perhaps want to keep. In particular, I pushed the gun limit up a little bit a couple of times. We also reintroduced colonists, pretty much left it running the whole 2 or 3 hours, which we were able to do quite successfully. Tweaked the numbers a little bit, increased guards a little, increased biologists a little. Everything else stayed pretty much the same. And everything ran pretty happily based with these sorts of numbers. Didn't really suffer any food shortages. I did actually lose a few colonists later on to starvation when I had 100 of each food. Don't quite know how that happens. I suspect that what I needed to do was to build canteens next to the farms and places for people to sleep next to the canteens. I suspect that perhaps people were too busy, hanging around work areas to go get food in time before they died. Not really sure. It started expanding to the sort of south, with a massive biodome, a factory, and another smaller biodome, still a large one, which I wanted to turn into kind of a tree farm. I figured that was the best place to expand to. So here's the tree farm going up. This was pretty fun to build. I like the idea of the colonists having somewhere peaceful to go and stare at trees rather than the awful desert world's surface. Took me a little while to begin populating the massive farm dome, because I didn't really need the food, and we were still seeing not quite enough biologists to make things work in the rest of the colony yet. So it took probably till about 70 or 80, maybe more colonists before I started populating that up with food goods to be made. Also, there were some good suggestions in the comments around controlling access to the base. So I did plan to and then move all of the star bases. Oh, here we go. Here's a picture of... Here's some photos, screenshots, video, whatever I'm looking at, of trees. This is the little tree farm dome. It's very adorable, isn't it? Look at that. Who would want to go and visit there? Beautiful. Yeah, very nice. So where was I? Yes, we did have quite a few intruders, and they come in from the Starport, Stardock kind of location areas. And here we go. I tried to have a look at them fighting on the inside, but it all went a bit wonky. Didn't quite work in this occasion, but it did work later on. You'll see. Fortunately, our guards and civilians took care of the invaders. On the 2 or 3 or 4 times they did invade pretty promptly. Here are the massive solar panels that I was able to buy. Bought the patents for those, got them down, were very, very helpful. I started to have a few power issues later on. Just wasn't keeping up with the generation and storage that was required. Built a whole bunch of extra dorm places. And then I started building the starport down off to the right here. The idea being I wanted a single entrance point from space to the base. So one set of sort of landing pads with a single entry causeway into the building. And you can see it starting to come along now. So a single causeway entry into the base, a security post nearby with weapons. This would... Oh, did you see that? That was a hit on a bar. 8 colonists died. It's really tragic. Yeah, meteorite hit straight on the bar. You can just see the corpses there, and also all the domes popped. Look out into the world, and all the airlock doors are closed. That's really awesome. I hadn't noticed that before. That's really cool. But don't worry, our intrepid colonists fixed it up nice and quick. And you'll see them start to fix it up, and then in go the colonists to have a drink. Yeah. They go back in straight away, feeling a bit sad, to go and get themselves a beer. Fermented vegetable beverage, to be precise. It's probably vodka. 8 of their buddies died, but you know what? We can be cheered up with a quick drink. There you go, see? Down he sits, have a drink. Yeah, I'm feeling sad. 8 people died in here a few minutes ago, but Never mind. Bit of vodka will sort us out. So where was I? Yes. The Starport, the intent of the Starport is to give the colonists... Here, solar flare came through and an awesome shot of that laser. I spread the lasers out a bit more, added a couple more towards itself. Oh, invaders. Yeah. Carry that food, lady. Oh, another dead guard. Take out them faster. A few people do tend to die when you get invaders, especially at the rate with which your people wander around. And then after the invasion, quick bite to eat. Killing invaders is hungry work. Yeah, so the Starport got built, provided a single access from space to the base, which did help in defending it because we knew exactly where the bad guys were at all times. I made a mistake, perhaps, of putting a bar and a canteen on the way from the Starport, which encourages sort of visitors, our own visitors, to go there. Should have perhaps fitted out an empty room, or just left a couple of empty rooms as causeways out to the landing locations, which would have resulted in a bit less civilian traffic. Yeah, a bit less civilian traffic and guards in the guard post would have been probably a good idea. Starport found itself pretty busy most of the time. There was a constant flow of visitors, as you'd expect, colonist ships and trader ships. I was able to buy pretty much everything I needed from the trader ships. If I got a bit short of metals, no problem, trader ships were there. Visitors usually had about half a dozen, up to even a dozen in the base, which was pretty good. And got to watch the ships take off and land, do all that kind of fun stuff, which was pretty cool. Armed intruders again, you can see them coming in through the sort of causeway there, and then all of our people fighting them. They even get into fist fights at times. So we lost 2 colonists, but we got all 3 of the intruders. That's a fair trade. So we started expanding a bit more over this way, threw up another sign, threw up some water collectors, power collectors, and I reached Technocracy, which means it's an achievement where I had bought 8 technologies, something like that. So then all I need to do is get 100 colonists and then to reach 300 colonists after that. I didn't reach 300 this game, did hit 100, no problem. So I started expanding here. You can see I'm building off to the west, I guess you could say. Wanted to put up a storage and farm dome. And then produce basically a bedroom community over here, throw together some cabins, give my people somewhere to live, all that kind of stuff. And then when I hit 103 or so colonists, something happened and the game crashed. Very, very disappointing. I was thinking of going a bit higher, maybe to 120 even, finishing off that bedroom community, but never mind, the game crashed. I did go and email that to the developers, and they replied to me this morning saying the crash had been fixed, which was pretty awesome. So I'm expecting none of you will have to face this screen when you play. But it does put us in, I think, a pretty good position to continue on the ice world. I have 9 of the 10 achievements, so I can go off and do that no problem. And the ice world promises to be a lot of fun, and I have been making a little spreadsheet to try and figure out the most optimal start. I propose starting that ice world series this weekend. I've got a pretty busy weekend, but I think I can get going on it. So I hope you'll stick around for Season 3 and watch us work through the ice world. I'm expecting a pretty fast and efficient game. Thanks for all your comments and suggestions. I've enjoyed reading them. If I haven't been able to reply to them, if you've noticed I haven't replied to any of yours, it's possible that Google Plus does not let me do that. You'll have to Google why can't people reply to my comments on YouTube or something and find the setting that allows me to reply to you. Kind of weird, but yeah, I can't actually reply to some people. Never mind. If you've enjoyed this, why not go check out one of the other Let's Plays? I particularly recommend my City Skylines North Korea series, or the 2-minute Let's Play of Polybridge. That'll keep you going until it's time for Season 3 of Planetbase. Good night.